Hello, and today we'll be talking about 16.3 coaching session review and the development plan. We'll be taking a look at a review of how my session went, some strengths and weaknesses, and some areas for improvement. So, firstly, I want to talk about just to review the aims and objectives of my session. My session aim was to teach different types of passing and basic footwork, and my session objectives were um, to to make sure that players are able to make certain passes such as the simple chest pass, the bounce pass, hook passes, and also reverse pivots. Now we're gonna take a look at the SWOT analysis, so the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, and we'll go more in depth into the strength and weaknesses bit. But for the planning stage of my strengths, my I researched quite a few drills. Maybe I could have researched a bit more into them, but I did know research quite a few drills. I also was confident in my delivery of the majority of the skills. Um, I had effective communication and demonstration with the participants, so they were able to understand clearly what they're supposed to do and understand the skills as clearly as possible. And I was also very confident just overall talking to students and um, correcting them when they're wrong or weren't doing the techniques correctly. My weaknesses, on the other hand, I could have planned a bit more backup drills that weren't reviewed, so I didn't review my backup drills that properly. I probably could have reviewed them a bit better. I also could have had more adaptations for certain people that may be good at netball already. There were a couple girls in the group that were quite good at netball. I could have probably had a couple more adaptations to make it slightly more difficult for them. And also the conditional the conditional game wasn't very clearly delivered, and some of the rules were left out that I had planned to put in, and they don't go completely to plan. So that would come into planning that conditional game. Also, some opportunities that I could have to improve these things is take a look at some um, online or netball lesson plans to get an idea of what type of drills other coaches are doing. I could also do some coaching courses that involve aspects of planning, such as like the level one coaching courses, and which can aid my techniques. The threats for doing these things may be the price of the courses, and they may not be readily available and may not be offered to everyone. So now we'll take a look at my strengths. My strengths are mainly communication, group management, and equality. I was able to effectively communicate with the students, which means that they knew what they were doing most of the time, and they were confident in me because I was able to communicate with them clearly, especially if I needed something to get done or just to bring them back after a drill or what it may be. Also, managing the group size, I had a group of about 11 to 12 people, and I was able to manage them in that when the drill ended to get them back to me to explain the next bit of the session, or just explain it to them as a group and getting everyone involved and leaving no one out, which leads to my equality one. So I made sure when we played the conditional game that one girl was on each team, so that made it equal. I also split up those based on skill level so that both teams were equal. And when I got into pairs, I made sure that everyone got a chance to work with someone that was of equal skill. Also, I'm gonna take a look at my areas for improvement. So the first area of improvement I could have would be to do um, more thorough planning for adaptations of drills. This for adaptations and drills, so that would just require me doing a lot more researching um, and taking a look at how other coaches make their drills harder or adapt it more. Um, I could the other choice I could have as well to develop that would be to do the coactive coach training, which is the fundamentals course for the beginner netball coaches, which gives you an ICF accreditation, and it's only 2.5 days long. And it is very vital when learning how to be a netball coach. But the only downside to this is that it does cost £570, and they are located in London, which require travel um, to get there and get back, which is quite a lot of money. So that is a big downside. Um, they do say that it is for those over the age of 16 that may have a bit of knowledge in netball, which is good. Now, my second area for improvement would be the better knowledge of the game. Now, I can do this simply just by getting involved at college, so joining the netball coach in sessions and not playing, but actually watching what she's doing, seeing the way she plans her session and how she progresses it. And even in just down to watching games, if I watch games, I'll be able to understand how the referees make calls and make decisions, what works, what doesn't work. That way I'd be able to plan my conditional games a lot better as well. And it would just help me overall to be more confident with my delivery. Now, there's also a course that I could take which would be the specific netball course. So the other one was not netball specific, that was just a general coaching course. That would help my planning, but this one is just for knowledge of the game, so it's perfect for those that are over 16 years old, that have some knowledge of the sport and some knowledge of the rules, but of course they would go over it and they'll teach you. And this one is a lot cheaper because it is only a maximum of £180, which is a lot cheaper than the more broader coaching course. And this one is also in London, which would mean that I would have to travel there and travel back. The third area for improvement would be the better use of equipment. So if I was able to do the UKCC course, which is for netball specific, I'd be able to have an idea of how I can use my equipment to the best of my ability so that I can get the most out of them and improve those players. If I did a lot of research as well, just simply using the internet, I would be able to Google different types of drills and what equipment I can use and how I can use it, which will make my lesson more exciting and more engaging for the people around me and the students that are getting involved as well. This was my session review. Hope you enjoyed it.